Welcome, welcome, welcome to the online show, Manifest Your Man, how to find, attract, and keep a high quality man. Today, I'm so excited to have with you one of my favorite guests. She has so much good information to share with you. And we're also doing another podcast. You're going to have to come back and listen to the podcast as well, because there's so much information to share that you don't want to miss it. So I'd love to introduce you to Polina Solda. Did I pronounce that correctly? Okay, good. She is known as the go-to leading dating and relationship authority who has helped professional women attract their ideal type of man using a unique, proven psychology-backed system. Wait till you hear about this. What makes her approach different is that she gives you the exact personalized step-by-step formula to find your perfect match without overwhelming frustration or wasted time and effort in dating. She is the first dating and relationship coach in the US to teach this system that actually works. So that's exciting. And she is also the founder and CEO of Love by Design, a podcast host, a certified Inyo style expert, and a certified coach with over 12 years of hands-on experience helping thousands of women. She's been featured on CBS, Medium, and other media, and she's happily married and lives with her family in New York City. So welcome to the show. I'm so excited that you're here today with us.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you for this lovely introduction. And I'm so honored to be a part of this incredible event that you're hosting. Let's get started.
I know, I am so excited to dig in because you have so much good stuff to offer. That's why we had to make another podcast we have to do a podcast too, because there's so much good stuff. So I'd love to just dig in and ask about, like, what's your personal love journey or story? I'd love to hear your personal journey first.
Sure. Yes. And it started when I moved to New York City after my divorce in my early 30s, and I decided to create my own elevated version of Sex and the City. And I was dating a lot and seen it all, and really my own journey with ups and downs and all the struggles and all of the mistakes, and ultimately that led me to attracting my ideal type of man, my soulmate, my husband, the father of our child, and we've been together for over 13 years now. And that was the time when I made a decision to help our women. When I know exactly, if you're single and you're struggling and you're wondering, where is he? I've been dating for so long. Why can I find him? What's wrong with me? That's exactly what I've gone through. And I know the shortcuts. I know what works, what doesn't work, and I'm so excited to share this the secret tool that is so powerful, and really doesn't matter what your age or what has happened in the past. You can absolutely find the most ideal, most compatible partner for you.
Yes, absolutely. That's so true. It's a lot like my story too. It's from being single to just going through that process and finding the one. And that's why we're here today, is help you ladies find that one and go, well, we're going to share the process with you, what works.
And we are the example and evidence of what's possible for you. And that's why we do this work, is because we know you can have it too. And maybe sometimes you don't believe you have it, you can have it, but there's two of us telling you, you got this.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So what do you think the biggest obstacle or challenge is that keeps women from, being single and struggling in dating?
Yes, and it's actually, so we all have those blind spots, and a lot of us know about that and aware of it. And what I see now that I'm using this proven system is that you might actually think you know exactly who you're looking for, and you taking all the right steps. So you are on dating apps, you meeting men, you go on dates, but it's not working out. And the reason for that, the biggest reason, is that actually it comes to, again, understanding who you are and who is most compatible type of person for you. And that's why this personality typing system that I teach, it practically guarantees you that you will not make the wrong choice of a partner. So the biggest reason I see why things are not working out, and it's really statistics backs it up, is the number one reason for all of the divorces. It's actually not money, that's number two, but the biggest reason is incompatibility. And so you could be dating. So I was dating and I was searching for a very specific like image, like type of a man, but it would be in annual style terms, the system that I teach, it could be the same type as myself, and it just doesn't work. And it could be that you like, okay, I'm looking for this type of man, and what you might not even realize and be aware of, that it's just not going to work out. And the reason, if it's right in a dual relationship, so that your dual partner, most compatible partner for you, it's easy from the beginning. And if you're experiencing challenges right away, and it's just in a dating stage, it already signals me you might be dating the wrong type of, the wrong personality type of you, and you don't even know that. So incompatibility is the biggest challenge. And sometimes we don't even know who is right for us and who we really need. We might think we know who we want, but oftentimes that's not the case, because your results or lack of those results indicate there is something that's just not aligning. The puzzle doesn't come together. And so what I do is I make sure that you understand how the puzzle works and all the pieces come together.
Oh, that is so good, because I see that it was my matchmaking clients a lot, that they want to this certain type of man, but it's actually, there's a block there because they're not getting the type of relationship they want. So I think this is really important work for them to figure out what is that missing component of finding that compatible person.
Yeah, and it starts with you, actually. It's
Yeah.
understanding what is my type, because as soon as you know, so I cannot tell you who your dual partner, so that most compatible type of man for you, unless you know your type. And so it starts with you. And I can tell you that the easiest sign, for example, so men of the same type as me, the same pattern, it was the same pattern. The types of men that I wanted and I was attracted to, because I was programmed to be attracted to them, the society, the media, they were not attracted to me. And I was overlooking the entire time the very ideal, most compatible type of man for me. And it wasn't until there was this breakdown point, then it just didn't work out again. It was so, it was so hard. It's like hard work. And I was like, what if there's actually nothing wrong with me? And what if it's the type of man that I'm choosing? And I just decided to explore outside of that type. And that was 13 years later.
I love it. That's so fascinating. I love that. So what is the surest, fastest, and easiest way to find the right man?
Yes. So the first, it's two simple steps. The first step is it's return to yourself. You really discover who you are, because again, you cannot even know who is your match, because your match, your dual partner, is somebody who is very different from you and complementary to you. So it's understanding what are your natural strengths that you already bring in a relationship. So if you already have a certain quality in abundance, what you want ideally in a relationship that is easy and it just works and you can be 100% yourself. You want somebody who brings different quality but complementary to you, and not to confuse it with different and not complementary, because it's going to be really hard. But if you have a lot of the same, what happens is that both of you are missing this other part, and it will be also challenging. So understanding who you really are is step number one. What is your type? As soon as you know your personality type, you automatically know your dual partner type. And there are only 4 dominant types, so it's pretty easy. And this is exactly what I teach. And we'll make sure they can even give a couple of gifts. One of them will be to take that free quiz, so in a few minutes from now, you can know your basic type.
I love that. And I see that often, that single women, they're focused on finding a certain type without really knowing who they are at the core. And it's a huge step that I see a lot of single women miss, and it leads you down the wrong path constantly. You're kind of butting your head against the wall because you're dating the same type of men that are not your compatible type. and
Yeah,
express
and another
yourself.
thing, well, another litmus test that you are choosing incompatible type of man for you. If you go for a specific type that you think like this, I know who I want, and but it's not scientific, it's not psychology backed, it's not personality type based. You just follow intuition or you just feel attraction. Uh, if you ever, this is the biggest red flag, if you ever feel like you cannot be yourself, because here's the thing, when two of the same type of people come together, let's say we're both leaders, strong and confident, that was my trait, and I was going even more successful, even more confident, even more assertive. And so what was happening is that it was confrontation, power struggle, challenge. It was this who is number one. It was this competition, and it could not work in any way unless I would try to be somebody else. I would become less of who I am, and I would be more flexible and easygoing, and I'm not that. So right away, if you feel like you have to change who you are, most likely you chose an incompatible, wrong type of partner for you.
Yes, 100%. That was one thing about my husband. When I met him, I knew I could just be myself. I didn't have
Yeah,
to change myself. He says the same thing. He was like, I just can be me around
exactly.
you. And that
Yeah.
is so freeing and empowering too, as a couple, especially because then you mesh better and it flows instead of this constant struggle of, are they for me? Are they not for me? Or, it's a really good relationship dynamic to
I have
walk in it.
seen, so I looked at your amazing, I love your Instagram, and I've seen you guys together. I actually type based on just profile, it can just online presence. So you are dual. And so here's the thing, for a few of us, like you want, especially when you fully expressed in who you are, you lead with authenticity. You haven't been in a series of abusive relationship where you don't even know who you are. You sort of lost yourself. A lot of women get into what's called the middle type, and they trying to be a little bit of everything and they get disconnected. So if you don't know, again, if you don't know who you are, you're just a little bit of everything, there's no chance you can have that polarizing effect where you just attract each other.
Yeah.
And it's required, but so few of us, it happens naturally. It happens on a subconscious level. As I already said, our dual partner is searching for us on a subconscious level. However, for most of us, we actually got to learn it. And that's why most of us, we have to just learn the system and use it. And it works exactly like it worked for you. Naturally, it will work for somebody else by design. That's why it's called love by design. You can actually plan for it, and you can go step by step and get in the same place as you are now with your husband.
Yes, absolutely. And it didn't come easy for me. It was something I had to learn over about let's say 7 years, or actually I shouldn't say 7 years. I identified there was something not working, and it took me about 7 years after that to find my one. But we're here to teach you all how to do that faster.
Much faster. If I can
Yeah.
just share an example, I was just talking with a new member of my program today, and she said, I can't believe it. I literally, so she joined about 2 weeks ago. The way she's gone through the material, it's incredible. So she already identified her actual type. And so what she realized, just imagine the breakthrough, she realized that her whole life, and she's so 40 years old. So the whole life, she actually was she's the same type as me. It's called the West type. It's a very, powerful, confident, very like impact, growth oriented. And she was going after the same type of man. And so she completely overlooked the East type, the dual partner type. And now it's just a complete shift how she shows up. It's like, oh my gosh, I feel so, I feel so visible. I feel so powerful. It's a completely different experience for her. She's so energized, and she's attracting these types of men. She's actually opening herself up, and nothing has changed. There's the same app. She's in the same city. She's the same age, and everything else looks, and getting dates, getting like attention. It's just incredible. 2 weeks.
Oh, I love that. That's exciting. I love hearing stories like that. So give us, the audience, a simple formula or step-by-step process that you use with your students so that they can find that ideal partner.
Yes, I already mentioned. So there's really 2 steps. It's know your type, and
Okay.
then only choose, which is the secret why it can happen really, really fast. So once you know your type, step number 1, you only choose to communicate, to attract, to go on dates, and eventually get into a relationship with your dual partner type. So imagine, so there's 4 and only 1 is your most ideal. So in the past, when you had no idea what was different types there, you could go with 4 men, like, okay, in a matter of 2 weeks, you could go on 4 dates with 4 different men, and they all were the wrong time. Let's like when you look for somebody who's just like you, which is one of the biggest mistakes, right? Because I already discussed, like I already mentioned why it doesn't work now. And there's no result. However, if you go with 4 men of your dual type, most likely you probably will have 3 out of 4 second dates.
Yeah.
And then it goes deeper and it's deeper, and then you choose. So your efforts are it's very few in terms of time and energy and effort, which is why if you're a busy career woman, you have so much responsibility. You're 100% taking care of yourself, and possibly even taking care of aging parents, or you have children and single mother, working single mother. I mean, there's a lot of different circumstances. This is the fastest way, because you eliminate so much of the busy dating, playing that dating is a numbers game, which I have a very clear, like, it doesn't work, because as I already explained, if you just go after the numbers, but the type is not your dual type, it's just as if you went shopping for shoes, and you have this bunch of shoes and not all of them are the wrong size, and you just keep trying them, it doesn't make a difference.
Yes, that is so true. I love how you broke that down. And I'd love to, because we're going to go more into this on the podcast, so you have to stay tuned, ladies, and listen to the podcast too. But I'd love for you to give a preview of your specialized technique of teaching women how to find the one. So what is Inyo style? Can you explain that? Can you give us a preview of what to expect?
So good. Inyo style. So Enyo is in energy. If you think about it, what are relationships? It's a exchange of energy and information, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to. It's our energy. We feel the vibe, and then it's what we say, right? It's what we do. So Enyo style is a style of energy and information exchange. Now, what makes it so powerful? Well, first of all, I would say it's the most modern, most objective, and most applicable, very practical system. It's very easy to learn, and you can type people looking at their online profile. So use specific criteria, looking at their style of communication. So oftentimes I will type somebody without even ever talking to that person, just even looking at their profile and how they communicate and what they look like, what their body type, what they gaze, like what they wear, what is their lifestyle, like so many things, what they do for a living. I mean, everything. You can just, because we born already, if you think about why are some people introverted and they kind of shy, and others are so outgoing, and why is that somebody is so rational? And so it's all based on the work of Carl Jung. So it is 100% psychology backed. So somebody is going to be very logical and very rational, and another person will be very emotional, and logic go out the window and you feel the way you feel, right? And so that is it's something, our personality type that we're born with, is certain energies, certain tendencies and strengths. It's something that it's part of our identity, so it doesn't change. And if you can read that by looking at a person, that is very, very powerful. It's just you get instant insights about what a person's values, what are their preferences, are they compatible with you or not, or what are they lacking. There are things that we cannot give, where we have very little, and then there are things that we have in abundance. And so what can you actually expect from your partner? And so I think the biggest mistake when we're not using was the personality based, I think the biggest challenge, I would say, is having this unrealistic expectation, looking for a person who has all of his qualities equally, and sometimes they even mutually exclusive. Like I see was ideal type of man lists where a woman will say, well, I want somebody who's very committed and reliable, right? And then I also want him to be romantic and easygoing. And these are two different personality types.
Mhm.
And you gotta really, that's why I'm saying, like, you gotta know like what you really need, because you can want all of it. But if you want somebody who doesn't exist and you're looking for that Mr. Perfect and you've been searching for the last 10 years, there is a reason why you haven't met him yet.
Yes,
Or
I love that.
ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's something I think singles look over. We teach on too. The personality type is super important because you can see the strengths and weaknesses of a relationship
Yes.
before it even starts. And if you don't
Yes.
have
And
that,
challenges with if
yes,
you're not compatible, like I can type like two people, I can say, okay, if they are non-dual, exact challenges that we're going to have, even though we're in love and they just got married, it doesn't matter.
yes, absolutely, yes,
Because that initial attraction, that infatuation, it lasts only for so long. But when what do you have left? Do
yes,
you have that duality? Do you, or is there something missing? And if something is missing, that person will ask for it from you. And imagine being in a relationship and somebody is asking you for something you can't give because you don't have.
yes, yeah. Years into the relationship or a year in, and I think that's something that's so important to learn before you get in a relationship, so that you have a successful long-term relationship. Because we want to teach you how to keep your high quality man too, not just get into these relationships that don't end up working. That's very frustrating. We want you to find that high quality man and keep him and have an amazing flourishing relationship. And I think it starts here when you learn beforehand.
Yeah.
The more you learn about relationships and communication and personality styles and who you're compatible with, that creates the success.
Yeah, and you definitely get the advantage. I mean, this is again going back to the most valuable resource we have as busy professional women is our time. That's one thing we cannot get back. And we're so, living such a high, like fast pace, I live usually in New York City, this is a bit different now, but even it doesn't matter. You don't want to waste your time. That's one thing we can all agree on. And imagine that you learn the system one time that enables you to determine everything you need to know without dating that man for 3 months. And you already know it even during your first date. You are guaranteed to know man's type by the end of the first date, when you practice and you know exactly, and you are being fully aligned in who you are too, because men will also play games, put on masks, and you learn to also, that's the next level. But we also, each personality type will wear a certain mask, and that's the next level when you can see it, when somebody's, I can actually see who you are, but you are trying to act this way. It's very interesting. If you love psychology, if you love people, reading, learning about people, you start looking like I type people when I watch movies or when I listen to music, even like it's very different, like reading books. It's in us. It was energies. We channel that from ourselves, and it's very easy to understand people when you have specific criteria that you can put the puzzle together.
Absolutely. I wish I knew this and had these tools like 10 years ago, or 20 years ago when I first started into the dating scene. It would have saved me a lot of time and heartbreak.
For sure. And in fact, if you're a matchmaker, so you're absolutely using some kind of criteria. And I know, like, even career, so when I hire for my team, we use Myers-Briggs, which is, you have to take a test. So you don't have to ask a guy to take a test. You just type him, you know who he is. But Myers-Briggs, you won't hire somebody who is a shy introvert and likes to be alone and just very methodical, let's say, right? To do your enrollment calls for you. It's that same level, right? So why not, if we use that system like Myers-Briggs, corporate America uses that for hiring, which is an important choice. You hire somebody for a job, but here you're really choosing somebody to be your life partner. I mean, how important is that choice?
Yes, absolutely. We do the same in matchmaking. It's very important. We use Myers-Briggs. There's a
Really?
system. We do.
Oh,
I'm going to learn more about, I'm excited to learn more about your program.
Oh, yeah.
It could definitely make a huge difference. But yeah, we do a Myers-Briggs and we can see the two personality types, which it's fascinating. It's something you definitely have to learn. But I would love for you to tell us more about your free gift.
Yes.
And then we're going to pick back up and learn more about the Inyo styles on the podcast.
Yes. Yes.
Make sure you guys listen to that too. And I will send something out so you can grab that podcast. But tell us more about the free gift that you have to offer.
Yes. So because I already mentioned the free quiz, you can take a free quiz on my website, polinasolda.com. And it takes literally a couple of minutes. So take that quiz. And the first step to get started with me, if you want to learn more from me, is joining my absolutely free brand new online course called Your First Date, where I give you the exact step-by-step framework, and I'm very action-oriented for you to actually create and go on your first date. And that is super easy to do. It gives you exactly everything you need to know, even if you haven't dated for a long time, or you have been getting really finding it challenging to get to the actual date. So we give you a proven framework for that.
Awesome. I love it. Definitely go do that right now, ladies. And we'll put all the information below so that you can have the links and check out the free gift and all the everything that she offers. So definitely do that right now before your next date. You have to do this before your next date so you don't waste any time. But thank you so much for being here with us today. I have enjoyed this conversation and I can't wait to learn more and just dig deeper on the podcast. So we appreciate you being here, and thank you, audience, for being here too. Make sure you connect with Polina and also watch the next interviews. So have a fabulous day.
Thank you so much, Amanda. You're an amazing host. What a joy. Thank you.
Thank you.